I'm sure you'll all agree, quantities are the least sexy aspect of infrastructure projects. But quantities don't have to be scary and intangible, and creating an accurate bill of quantities really is an essential component to any construction project. Getting it wrong can lead to expensive variations and lengthy delays. Cost estimates are generally required at various milestones through a project. But without accurate quantities as a base, you may as well pluck a number out of the air. I'm Damian McAuliffe, a senior technologist with WSP, and I'll show you the process that we developed to make this as simple as possible. The current process of taking quantities by hand or quantifying single objects at a time has the following problems. It's time consuming to do the initial takeoff, time consuming to make updates to the quantities. It's difficult to check if the quantities are up to date with the design, and difficult to link the quantities to the model. Due to the time-consuming nature of generating quantities, it's often left until the final days before issue, and therefore can't be used to track the progress of a project accurately. This is why the project team on the Bruce Highway Interchange Upgrade, Maroochydore Road and Mons Road project adopted 12D model and Excel for quantity derivation. At WSP, we are using quantity extraction directly from 12D to improve the speed and accuracy of our quantities. Detailed models to level of design 300 are created with information-rich three-dimensional objects. The digital road design included detail with as many tangible items as possible, from culverts, barriers, and curbs, down to individual pavement layers. The 3D objects contained key information relating to object properties such as name, length, volume, and TMR standard item descriptions based on the TMR specifications. This allowed the team to undertake bulk extraction of quantities from 12D, exported into Microsoft Excel format, which then fed directly into TMR's 3PCM import template for upload to the 3PCM system. Quantities were directly derived from a federated 12D model, resulting in a reduction in errors commonly seen in quantity takeoff and reduced time spent on manual calculations. Attributes were exported in CSV files, which were automatically aggregated in Excel and coded to summarize in a single convenient page. The whole process was changed to generate CSV files and also included generating a view in 12D model with items that were exported automatically displayed with the display filtering command in 12D for extra verification. This chain utilized parameters, allowing any new items to be added in less than 2 minutes, which I'll hopefully show you later. Chaining allowed for quantities to be extracted quickly and accurately, allowing for project costs to be tracked frequently during development. We identified completing the TMR 3PCM template as the end goal for all quantities, and as such, most of the extended data added to each quantifiable element was related to the fields in this spreadsheet. Strict element naming protocols are the key to trouble-free digital quantification. This requires all models on the project to be aware of the requirements and the importance of following the project digital execution plan. Standard naming should be built into the workflow tools like snippets and macros to take the guesswork out of the equation. The steps shown list the order to follow for applying extended data. Early on, we noted that in the modeling that the TMR string naming convention requirement would be a powerful way to filter out every element we needed to quantify. So curbs, concrete barriers, guardrail, drainage, all layers of pavement, fences, noise walls, line marking and fill are all examples of the elements that we're able to attribute and filter the quantities from. More items can be easily added as necessary. Trenching, ITS components, and cabling are currently being developed. Attributes on 12D elements are to be applied to 12D generated designs in three ways: map file, MTF snippets, and the attribute manipulator tool. Map file and snippet attributes are designed to be automatically added during standard MTF modeling techniques and will not require user involvement generally. WSP have developed a modified TMR map file. This file filters 12D elements, strings, or trimeshes by their name and applies data consistent with the TMR quantification system at 3PCM, ready to be exported for reporting. This information is placed in a standardized attribute branch within 12D. Due to this filtering, string naming is very important and should follow the TMR 12D modeling standards exactly. And failure to adhere to this will cause designed items to be excluded from quantification. The attribute manipulator file was used to move currently applied attributes to a different attribute branch, and is also used to apply element properties onto strings and trimeshes for things like the length of an object, or a string, a trimesh volume, or pipe diameter. Another function of the attribute manipulator is that it can push 12D project information onto each element as an attribute. And this can be information such as project name, zone, date, and the designer, which are all useful. And this is particularly powerful when used in conjunction with 12D synergy, which can control a lot of that data before you even open 12D. Once this extended data is applied, a 12D model chain has been created to generate CSV outputs for all quantifiable elements. This process has been made more efficient by utilizing parameters, giving the modeler the ability to easily add new elements by copying in a row into a chain and then altering a few fields. As an added check, the chain creates a view for each element and uses the drawing filter tool, which hides all but the elements which are being quantified. This acts as a visual check that all elements expected to be accounted for are in the CSV outputs. The final part of the quantity process is an Excel spreadsheet that aggregates the CSV files generated by 12D. This allows the modeler and checker to spot omissions, errors, and duplicates in the raw data tab, as well as reporting the total quantity by item type and location. Any errors found can be easily traced to their source by reading the snippet attributes applied earlier. These show attributes such as control line and which side of the road to narrow down the search. Once verified, the data produced can be auto-filled into the TMR3 PCM template, as mentioned earlier. So this is an example of the chain that we created within 12D, and an example of how easy it is to add a new item that needs to be quantified. All we would do, so currently we're listing the data and quantifying curb types 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the curb type 28s, or channel 28s. If we wanted to do a new one, I know there's some curb type 12s in this design. So all we would need to do is open up this parameter file, and also we'll alter curb type 10 to be 12. So we'll change the parameter name to be 12, the filtering to be 12, the CSV file that it will write to be 12, and then the view that it will create to show you the data that we're going to be writing out for curb type 12 as well. So we'll write him, finish him, and then in here change that to curb type 12, and then change the parameter to that. So that's it, that's done. Press run, it'll create CSV files and views for curb types, all the curb types from before, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 28, but it'll also add type 12 for us now, so you can see it creating the view for the data that's being exported now, which is a really good visual check to see if what is being expected is what you expect to appear. So going to a curb type 12 view that we just created, I can kind of do a visual check and see if this is all the type 12 curb on the job that I expected to see, which it is, which is great. So now I can go into our Excel spreadsheet that aggregates all this data automatically. You can see the CSV files for all the curb types. So we've got 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, and 28s, but there's no 12 in there. So all we need to do is do the fresh data, and then there we go. So now we've got curve type curve type 12 in there, as we'd expect. It's a very good way. This is the raw data, so you can kind of go through and you can sort of see where there is information missing, so you can go and track that back and say, why hasn't it applied in the modeling process? But for the purpose of this, we'll go to the summary, and this summarizes all our curve types. So this is the entire lot of them, and this is them broken up into curve types. So we just refresh that there. And there we go. So we've got curve type 28, and then total length on the right-hand side would be 180 meters, and on the left-hand side would be 29.5 meters. So that's it. That's how easy it is, and you can add any item you want just as easily, as long as it's got a unique name. The other way we chose to verify the data was through Navisworks. It was chosen as a secondary quantity takeoff checking tool due to the user-friendly interface and the ability to filter and import information required into a spreadsheet form, and it's also able to be checked in a visual way. And this allowed the user to see which items had been reported on and to see which outliers hadn't been included yet. The file type to export to Navisworks is the industry standard IFC format. As always, so this is some of the lessons learned, but as always, a double check of the data should always be undertaken. Due to the idiosyncrasies of software and also the data transfer, it is always important to ensure that all elements you're expecting to be counted and all elements counted are reporting figures that you should generally expect to see. So do a good sanity check. Weird things can happen in a rush, and when they're missed, can cause embarrassment. Sometimes the old way of quantifying is still the best way. So, for example, earthworks. Currently, it's quite hard to get data out in a meaningful way. So the old tools still work well for that. The full process we've developed is directly transferable to all future TMR projects, or even is able to be applied to currently running projects, so long as the standard string naming convention has been adhered to. This meant developing this process adds value not just to the current project, but all future projects get the benefit from it as well, and it enables us to use this as a base to be in a perfect position once the TMR BIM requirements are widely mandated. Okay, so where to from here? The limitations for youths is really only by our imagination. 12D are constantly updating software tools to make this process easier, and the capability in 12D really hasn't been tapped into yet. For example, we are developing our modeling to enable us to accurately quantify conduits and pits for all drainage elements, and also line marking. We're also working on interfacing between our pavement spreadsheet and the model. So all pavement types and layer updates will be reading directly into the model from the pavement engineer's spreadsheet. We're now modeling to a true to life standard, and WSP are looking at developing and verifying edge details directly from the model to ensure modeling and drawing are all in sync. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks for listening.